Hi everyone, welcome back. Feels a bit like I'm being interrogated with this lamp straight in my face here, but we're on to the next lesson now, and I'm going to show you how to start putting in a bit more of the detail with the rigger brush on this painting right over my shoulder here. So let's get cracking now. Right, we're going to start mixing up the greens to do the foreground trees in here now. So I'll show you what I've got on my palette. So we've got some French ultramarine, some hooker's green, sap green, violets there, some cadmium orange, some cadmium yellow, some light green and some titanium white. I've started mixing up a colour here which is just French ultramarine and the cadmium yellow. It just gives you a nice vibrant green, and then we're going to necessarily add to that as we go, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So I've got a bit of liquid in here which will help the flow of the paint. It's always quite often a good idea if you need to do those finer details to thin the paint down a little just to get that flow if you need it. So for this bit here we need something that's more vibrant in the background here. I'm probably still going to work on this bit here. What I'll probably do is a mixture of time-lapse and commentary with this now, just to get this moving now. But we're going to work on the foliage here, and we're going to start building that up so that it comes forward in front of these trees here. I'm just going to add a little bit of titanium white to that mix. See how that looks. Probably need a little bit more blue in there. Mixing paint is an art in itself, and it's something you need to practice, and don't worry about getting things wrong, but it's really good to experiment. You know, you want to be adding mainly the primary colours to change the saturation and the tone of the colours, and so the blues will tend to make things recede and the warmer colours will tend to bring things forward. So we're looking to bring things forward. I've just added a little bit of blue there just to knock it back before we get into the final highlights, because we don't want this to be quite the final highlights yet. I'm probably going to go to the rigger brush, a little bit of the liquid, just to increase the flow there. What you want to do is follow the kind of growth of the foliage. So this requires quite a bit of looking at your photograph or whatever you're using for reference. Oh, it's a bit expensive to be wasting this stuff. At some point I'm probably going to go through, I've already done a studio tour, but I'll probably do a little sort of segment showing you the materials that I use and the equipment and things like that, just for those of you who are just beginning. It might give you a bit of an insight in the kind of things you want to be looking for, because I know it can be a bit of a minefield and it does take some time to kind of figure out what you should be using and where to get things from. But I'll probably do a video on that. I think it might be quite useful. So we're just going in, this is not quite the final highlight colour here, we're just building up the layers. As I've said in previous lessons, you're just looking to build up the layers here, and as I've already said in previous lessons, you want to be always taking a step back from your painting, always stand up, move away from your painting and have a look to see how the colours are working. So here I'm just varying the tones and the saturation of the green. So I'm adding a little bit of the light green to kind of bring it forward a little bit, add a little bit more kind of blue tone to it. But what I'm trying to do is not keep everything exactly the same, because obviously you're going to have bits that go forward, bits that come back. So you want to be adjusting the greens just a little bit here and there to have that variety of tones. If you keep everything the same, it's going to look very flat, and that's what you really don't want when you're doing trees. But as we get to the final highlights, we'll bring certain areas even further forward. But this is just putting that kind of mid-tone to a sort of higher tone kind of leaves into the picture here, just so that we've got an idea of where we want to go with it. Never always start with the darker tones first, and then work to your lighter tones, because if you start with your very lightest tones, then you'll end up having nowhere to go, and it's much easier to work light over dark than the other way round in oil paints. If we were doing watercolours, it'd be the other way round. So this bit here, I'm just darkening off the paint with a bit of French ultramarine and a bit of burnt umber, just to push this little tree line here a little bit behind this section here in front. We don't want them to look as though they're on the same plane, because those trees are behind. So just using that more muted colour just to knock it back somewhat. And I'll strengthen off the darks of these branches afterwards. But a lot of it is kind of play around with things, see how it's working, and then adjust it as you go. So as I've mentioned in pretty much all of my previous lessons, if you've seen them, is never be afraid to make mistakes. You know, incredibly important part of learning is making mistakes. And I will frequently overpaint. I mean, what you haven't seen is I have done this section here a couple of times, but unfortunately I can't show you that because I had a technical issue with my camera. But what happened was it wasn't quite working, so I've painted over it again, and I'm quite happy to paint over things like multiple times if necessary to get it right. I think the key is to get it right. So never worry about making mistakes. You know, if you're worried about doing this kind of painting, or you're a bit afraid to have a go, don't be, because making mistakes is all part of learning, you know, and it's something that should be embraced and not worried about. Okay, whilst we let this section here dry, I'm going to start putting in the shapes for the trunks for the trees and the branches, just to get a little bit of definition of an idea of where we want to place things on this side. So I'm going to mix up kind of a greeny brown initially, sort of the mid-tone. So it will be a bit of burnt umber, a bit of white, probably a bit of yellow ochre and a bit of French ultramarine. Squeeze a bit more of the umber out. And so what we're looking for is the mid-tone at this point. Don't want to go in too light. You can add some dark sandlights afterwards, but we want that kind of sort of mossy, barky kind of colour. And what I do is I'll mix it up, put it on the paper and then see how it looks. Just using the rigger brush at this point. Probably a bit more green than that. So it's a very kind of mossy tree. So get a bit more green in there, a bit more yellow ochre. See how we're looking. Yeah, it's not too bad. So at this point I'm just keeping the paint nicely thinned with the liquid. You can use liquid, you can use refined linseed oil, or you could probably use a bit of the white spirit if you want, although I find that kind of thins the paint a little too much. So I tend to stick with the linseed oil. So the liquid is something I've just bought, so I thought I'd give it a try because I know a lot of artists use it, and I do believe it speeds up the drying time, which I think would be advantageous for me when filming, and probably for yourselves when you're painting. I mean, one of the beauties of oil paints is the fact that you can obviously blend colours and you don't have to rush when you're doing that. But the downside is when you're painting in layers like this, it's having to wait, you know, a couple of days for layers to dry when you're really keen to get on. It can be quite frustrating at times, so I'm hoping this liquid will improve the drying time. When you're doing these fine branches, just take some of the paint off of the brush so you haven't got too much on. Just a really light touch. When you're going for these really thin bits, you need to be really quite gentle. Just referring to the photo here, so there's lots of looking backward and forward. I'm not going to do the real fine bits at this stage, but I will put the main branches in, so to give us an idea of where we are. It's quite nice having this kind of contrast in the painting where you've got lots of heavy foliage, but this tree at the front is got probably what looks like some dead branches and things, and those kind of dead branches create that nice contrast against the sky, against the background. So it's quite nice to have a scene that's got that kind of variation in, and when you're picking a photo for your paintings, you want those contrasts, whether it be darks and lights, you know, as a shadows, or where the sunlight's hitting something, or you know, that stark kind of strong kind of silhouette of something. So always look for contrast, areas of interest within a subject when you're choosing something to paint. It's a good tip, I think, that one. Okay, so I think you can see there we're now starting to add some of the finer details in here, and it's kind of just starting to build up now. We're going to have to wait for some of these areas to dry, which hopefully won't be taking too long with the liquid, and then we're going to start working a bit more on the foliage here with the more of the highlights, and then we've got a load of foliage, a bit more of the finer branches to put in here. I'll see how this background looks in terms of whether it's far enough into the distance, but we don't want too much detail on that at the moment. And then we've got a few other elements to work on. The main sort of bulk of the detail of the grasses, we'll probably leave that right to the very end now. A bit more on the reflection because that needs refining. But yeah, it's coming along. So if you want to see how this progresses, please tune into the next lesson.